If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
All right, so I don't know why EWM ABAP. Yeah. So just the disclaimer: images copying without limiting the rights. Credit shall be given to the images taken from the open source and going to be used for promotional activities. Um, so where are we? We talked about what is SAP EWM and what are the advantages. Comparison, right? We just compared with the ECC WM and some of the features of inventory management and also which industries are best suited for EWM. And then we did one demo at a very high level, a process demo, inbound process demo. Um, let's run through these slides maybe. WMS is a software application we know designed to support, control, track, and optimize the warehouse functions and manage the distribution center. Who is managing? The supervisor is managing. What is he managing? The warehouse workload and also the resources. It could be the human resource or the equipments per se. Um, what is warehouse management system? Again, planning, organizing, staffing, controlling. These are the keywords. Planning, organizing, controlling, and utilization. The main thing is that the resources has to be utilized effectively. It could be the real estate or the human resource or the handling equipment. Broadly speaking, these are the three resources, right? Human resource, the assets, the building, the machinery and the equipment. So SAP EWM we talked about, right? Built for the kill, best of the breed solution. It can take on the competition easily now. It's being very robust now, having evolved in these many years, like almost 17 years, I would say, since its beginning in 2005. And this is meant for high volume warehouses. And it's just not to be imagined or assumed that it's not meant for mid sizes or simple warehouses. Even it is applicable for simple warehouses. It's all based on the licensing aspects. If your uh, client is buying block of license, based on the delivery lines, then some of the lines can be used for the medium or simple warehouses as well. You know, maybe you may be using cross docking, or you may be using a bit of value added services. So it's risky to take the stockroom management approach. Rather, we can implement the EWM, even if it's a simple one, direct put away, or all that you're just showing is a put away and picking basic activities. Still, it just needs to be considered whether to go for EWM basic license or just a stockroom management. So it also optimizes the inventory tracking, cross-docking, multi-channel fulfillment. We talked about multi-channel fulfillment, and all happens in real time. So before coming to the deployment option, these things we know, the key objective of WMS, high customer service, but the core thing is to deliver the right products to the right customer, the right time. That's the main objective. And then to fulfill the demand. The basic thing is to fulfill the demand. We don't want to cut a sorry figure. Then comes the customer service, then the all the KPIs, process standardization. Of course, we'll try to uh, the main idea is the real world process should sync with the system processes. If there is a lag or if there's any mismatch, especially in the RF device, it's all the more critical actually, because the navigation should be corresponding to the product flow. Uh, and also it has to be very intuitive, and then comes the process standardization, right? We don't want to invent more processes and the duplicated processes. Rather, we are looking at simplified and agile and standard processes actually. Increased efficiency and productivity, these are all sales pitch. Then reduce inventory and labor cost, of course. When you use the productive labor, then the labor cost would be definitely reduced. And inventory also, we just keep the optimum storage level thanks to slotting and also some ABC analysis to categorize the SKUs based on the velocity. Greater visibility and decision support. Yes, we have the visibility in the KPI analytics, the warehouse monitor, the dashboards, the what is it called? The cockpit. There's a warehouse cockpit, and then there is a monitor. All of them would be helpful. And we talked about the giant screen, the LED display, wherein the KPI analytics would be shown, and user themselves will know the progress in a given day, or the workload in the coming few days or coming week maybe. Yeah, so it's quite transparent. All everyone knows what is the task ahead. Process automation and scalability, right? So we talked about automated warehouses, and also the way to create a task automatically, or wherever possible, we can automate the document creations, and also the scanning. We can just keep to the context. For example, if there is no need to scan the batch, maybe we can turn off the verification field for batch management. So on a need basis, to the uh, to the minimum extent. At the same time, wherever possible, we automate them, and also it's a scalable solution. EWM is a robust and scalable solution. So we know at a high level the warehouse. I don't want to jump into the org element now. Let's complete the integration before the system integration, and then we will move on to the org elements. So let me just continue with the PPT where we left yesterday. So we talked about the IM features, the IM challenges, right? Then why to store goods in the first place, and then what do we manage in the warehouse? What exactly the supervisor is managing in the warehouse? What are the typical activities carried in the warehouse? WMS general expectation and the core functions, nutshell objective. Why EWM? The primary functions, the additional functions, and also the network perspective, deeper integration with the other modules, production, QM, transportation, yard logistics, EHS and GTS, and then the sales pitch, and then the architect pitch. Right, this is most important. The operational complexity is most important. It pretty much covers all the aspects. Like when we say operational complexity, then it means product dimension, process complexity, and then the layout complexity. The process and layout complexity is very crucial for EWM, because we can do internal routing or a multi-step put away or pick in, wave management, of course, and slotting and rearrangement. So we compared, right? The KPIs is okay. These are general stuff. And then the comparison between WM and EWM. Uh, the main thing is the if you look at this comparison, deco is not supported. Slotting, rearrangement, labor management, uh, quality inspection, decentralized quality inspection. Warehouse automation is a nightmarish using the TRM module, and similarly the internal routing. This is important. And there's no concept of EGR, expected goods receipt, but EGR is slowly becoming obsolete thanks to the synchronous goods receiving. So the synchronous goods receiving is taking care now. So the EGR is no more in vogue. So the EGR is earlier used to be an important concept, but nowadays EGR is slowly becoming obsolete. So the key differences are the wave is at the header level, and then the HU activation at the storage location level. These are critical decisions, right? Which are impacting the design. Similarly, the pick point handling is not that aligned. Then the serial management is not supported at the bin level, and rest all are very frivolous, or not that important, but just for your information maybe. And we know which industries are best suited. All the industries pretty much, except for the upstream, mining and um, oil and gas, continuous process industry, and utility as well. So the three tracks we know, and then the single line code concept we know, one code line, pretty much in the cloud environment, and then down ported or port over. And then the different functional areas within EWM: inbound processing, storage and operations, and outbound processing. Whenever we say outbound processing, the wave management, the picking rule, the packing, PPSL, pick, pack, stage, load. Storage and operations is just a physical inventory, rearrangements, replenishments, maybe kit to stock management. Inbound, the most important things is the internal routing, unload, quality, deco, value-added services, and then do the put away. The TU processing is applicable for both inbound and outbound. It's just not for inbound. And then this is where we stopped the show, right? So we did one simple vanilla one. Maybe I was slightly going here and there and showing multiple ways of confirming the task. Let's do one more time, maybe another demo for the freshers. So the PO, purchase order, against which you create this document inbound delivery based on the vendor ASN, hopefully in a production environment. Or you can just make a copy of this PO and then do the modification to the quantities, based on the physical receipt. And then the notification, we know it is just an document. It's just, again, it's not to be worried much. And this is just for validation checks and balances and so on and so forth. But it makes sense only when we are connecting to a non-SAP ERP. But if you are S4HANA or SAP ECC, then notification can be turned off. The main document is your inbound delivery against which you create the tasks. And the tasks, as I said, it cannot be standalone. It has to be grouped in an order or bundled in an order. The order is nothing but an executable optimum work package, which can be assigned to the operator for a meaningful workload in a given trip, so that to avoid any splitting or frequent trips to the packing work center or to the staging area, so that you give them a meaningful workload. So in a given trip, you can just bring the truckload of things, proper full load of truck things. Then the TU handling is again optional, and we talked about the goods receipt. It can be triggered at any point in time before the task creation or after the task creation, or there are two additional modes of GR, collective modes, which we will cover a little later. And slotting on a need basis we do, for especially if your industry is like high-tech industry where quite obsolescence are there, frequent obsolescence are there, product obsolescence, then slotting may be needed more frequently to identify the best location for the current fast mover, or if it's a service parts industry, right? So automotive, service parts industry, and high-tech industry, especially the slotting more frequently it would be running. For all other industries also, the retail industries as well, but not that frequent. All right. So now outbound process, similar to the inbound, we have the outbound a 30,000 feet level view or a bird's eye view. Um, so we have the sales order or the stock transport order, against which we create the deliveries, outbound deliveries by the delivery due list mostly. And then these deliveries are replicated to the EWM instance, and it's called as ODR. Same like our ID notification or inbound notification, not to be worried much. And then the main document, the mother document is outbound delivery order, ODO, also called as warehouse request, and against which you do the transportation planning, and the TU is created, or the freight documents are created. If you are integrating with TM, there are many different ways of doing the TM integration. Now the recent one is the ASR, advanced shipping and receiving. So it has some more features compared to the prior, releases. Now the ODO is the main document against which you create the tasks, and this WO, warehouse order. And when you keep confirming the task, you do the activities, pick in, pack in, staging, loading, PPSL. And finally, when you trigger the goods issue, this document is created, the final delivery is created, which we refer as OD, the outbound delivery. Not to be confused, or not to be because it's same outbound delivery. Here it's outbound delivery order. This also we call loosely or vaguely as outbound delivery. So when it comes to the acronym, this is OBD, and this is OD, and this is ODO. This third document gets automatically created. No one is going to manually, create them, unless and until there are some special scenarios like invoice before goods issue or late outbound delivery split. For those functions, you need this document to have a one-to-many relationship. For example, if you're loading 10 pallets and due to whatever reasons you can load only 8 of them, the two can't be loaded, then we need to split the delivery and then carry the remaining two maybe to the post lunch shipment or to the next day shipment. The 8 pallets would be sent in the current shipment, and then we split the delivery and we keep the 2 pallets in the mother delivery, and we create a child delivery for the 8 pallets. So that is called late outbound delivery split function. For that reason, we need to have this final delivery, meaning the ODO will have one document will be split into two final delivery documents. Are you guys with me? Following? Any questions?
Rajan, in this case, in ECC, the post goods issue will happen with the OBD after we complete the second delivery in EWM. Is it like
No,
we are
for
split it?
example, there is a delivery number 8, blah, 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 10, right? 8 ending with
Okay.
10, let's say. Okay, you create it for 10 quantity.
Yeah.
Hmm? Then what happens if you're loading only 8 pallets? A new delivery is created, maybe a 2 series number, 2000023 number, okay? And that will go with the 8 pallets, equivalent quantity. The mother delivery, 800010, remains with two quantities, remains with the
Okay.
2 pallet equivalent, yeah,
Okay.
equivalent.
You mean when you split that in EWM, it's a new delivery is created in ECC also.
Of course, yeah, new delivery is created in ECC also because these two are even though it's triggered from EWM, that new delivery needs to be there in ECC also. Yeah,
Okay, so the new delivery with 8 pieces will be
sent
completed, will be sent, and the remaining
PG8.
two
Yeah,
pieces will be updated as the open quantity in the mother delivery.
right. When you do this tomorrow's delivery for the 2 pallets, then that the mother would be technically completed, and the new delivery, one more new delivery with the 2 series is created for the 2 pallets.
Okay.
Understood, right? The mother is just technical completed with zero quantity. That's it. The 8 series document is null and void. It becomes zero. Technically, it becomes zero. Basically, it churns out two deliveries, right? Two split deliveries or two child deliveries or whatever. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So these things, route determination, the transportation planning, the ATP or the advanced ATP happens in ECC. Even the route determination can happen in EWM. Then comes the wave management. I can't think of any complex warehouse or even mid-sized warehouses operating without wave management. Without wave management is sort of shooting in the dark. So sooner or later, the guys have to implement wave management. If it's not part of the initial go live, if they are very skeptical about that, maybe they will release the wave or do some manual wave assignments for the initial period. But once they get the grip of the solution, or once they figure out all the dots, then they activate the wave management and a full blown maybe automated wave release also. And then picking bin determination, we know it's not that rocket science, just FIFO or LIFO only, or quantity optimized picking. But the warehouse or the creation rules are complex ones. That's a black box. We will discuss them quite detailedly, in the coming sessions. Okay, now let's jump into the system and do one inbound and then followed by one outbound. So in the S4 core, if you compare with the traditional one, the ECCWM, we have the sales order. Anyways, we create the OBD, the outbound delivery, by the delivery due list. And then against this OBD, we create the transfer order. And then when we confirm the transfer order, we can update the excess quantity or shortages based on the configuration. If customer accepts over quantity or less quantity, then we can update that document as well and trigger the PGI. Simple world. Sales order, outbound delivery, TO confirmation. Here in lieu of the TO, we have this the warehouse order and the tasks. The outbound delivery is replicated in the form of ODO. That's it. And work assignment automatically happens, based on the resource qualification. Uh, this is like a line's territory. Like for example, the line has a territory spanning, whatever acres or hectares, and whichever comes within the line's territory, it's going to be the lunch or the breakfast for the line. So that way, whatever tasks that are coming to that activity area or the work area, If I am qualified, it will come one at a time to me. If there are two workers working in the same activity area, both of them will get the tasks, alternatively. If I grab one WO, the other person will grab another WO. Once he is done with that first, maybe he gets a third WO automatically assigned. If I am still not done with the WO number one, in that way, one at a time, the WOs would be assigned automatically to the operators based on their qualification. All right, so now let's move on to the deployment options. Before we jump into the system. So, what are the deployment options we have? Um, we're going to just make a note of this note number. Make a reference of this note number. The all the options are given. If you can spend some time on this note, go through the note. Um, it's clearly mentioned there. But broadly speaking, we have decentralized EWM on S4HANA and then the embedded in S4HANA. Option number 4 and option number 5. What's so great about this number, option 4 and 5? Because these numbers or option numbers are aligned with the note. So whatever options they are given listed in the note 1606493, I have taken the same option numbers so that, whenever the notes get updated, we can also update our presentation. So option 4 and 5 are the most important one. We don't uh, focus much our efforts on the business suite or the classical customer. Nevertheless, we will just flip through the slides for the business suite also. And then when it comes to cloud, you just know that there is a cloud essentials, basically a multi-tenant or the enterprise edition, and also decentral EWM is there. But keep in mind the new licenses, it's not sold for on-prem. It's all for the cloud implementations only. So this is a business suite. Real quick, the business suite used to be there before the S4 HANA days. Now many customers still not migrated to S4 HANA. Uh, they are either running on SCM server or NetWeaver. So SCM server used to be the recommended approach until 2014, I would say. Because initially SAP suggested to implement EWM as part of the SCM server, so that the SCM server will have all the other SCM components like the planning, the coordination, the execution pillars, so that it works as a well-oiled machine. But now, after I think 9.0, there are some backlash or something backfired. So SAP said, okay, it's better to do it on NetWeaver as a standalone so that we can assemble like for example the TM integration has some challenges with the SCM server. So they said the NetWeaver is much better if you want to implement TM or any other auto ID for instance. So then go for NetWeaver EWM standalone. So whoever implemented prior to 9.0, they are done on a SCM server, and those implementations are running on 9.1, 2, 3, or 4. They are most likely on NetWeaver. These are all we are talking about the standard the business suite or classical options. Okay, then option number 2, nothing great about it. Option number 2 and 2b, just an depictions showing that EWM is coexisting with the APO, and option 2b is EWM implemented with TM on the same box. Here it's EWM standalone of option number 0 and option number 1. But option number 2 and 2b, wherein EWM is having a sharing with TM, or in this case, it's EWM with the APO. And this option, not to be worried. Um, this is just a bolt-on, not to be called as embedded to avoid any confusion. This is called a bolt-on. Bolt-on means the EWM and ECC on the same system. For those mini implementations or small implementations where the client is, very particular about having two boxes or cost conscious, then this is a bolt-on option for them, and this is going to be obsolete. If they want to move to S4 HANA, there's no migration path for this things actually. Any questions on the classical one implementation options, deployment options? Subho, Aditya, Saurav. Shivakumar, KV.
No, Raj.
No, all clear. All right. So now, these are interesting ones, you know. So now we moved on to S4 HANA. So we are talking about no more all these options, only option number 4 and 5, right? That's where you need to debate, discuss, or brainstorm in implementation to suggest on the best, deployment options. Maybe this comes prior, licensing itself. Maybe the pre-sales consultants headache actually, not we, not as much for the solution architect. Yeah. So now, what are these building blocks, or the main drivers? I would say the bold arrow means it's strongly favoring. The dotted arrow means it's less favored, and no entry is no entry. It's not supported, right? Okay, do not enter. Now, multiple ERP instances, like we talked about the Unilever or the P&Gs, Nestle's, or whatever, right? Maybe the Intel or the Apple. So there are multiple warehouses in multiple geographies, and there are multiple ERP pointing to one EWM, or one ERP pointing to multiple EWM. For those cases, only option is DWM, decentralized S4 HANA. This is S4 HANA only. No, I'm not talking about the classical world. So I moved out of the classical world or the business suite. Now we are talking about S4 HANA. So the only option is decentral. And if the ECC and S4 uh, going for um, piecemeal implementation, for instance, you don't want to touch your ECC, let it run with the complex modules. For example, you have a PM or production module, and your idea is just to implement EWM now. Maybe slowly you will be moving to S4 on all the other modules. For that scenario, you go for decentral approach. Just the EWM alone in decentral, while the other modules remain in the not migrated to S4 HANA. Then if you are looking at very tight integration, especially the production and QM, then think of embedded its advantage. Then simplified system landscape, right? Just one landscape, and the server is properly done with the sizing and other aspects. And if you don't have multiple geographies and automated warehouses, then go for embedded option. Simplified system landscape, no data duplication, the master data pane is not there. Basic warehouses only, the basic license, just go for embedded. And this is interesting. This is where we need to brainstorm with regards to the functionality. Rest all, or even a sales consultant can understand, but these are functional things, slightly technical in nature. But these are straight away decentral advantage. I'll come to that little later, maybe in the coming slide. uh, Hold on. For these things, these are straight away decentral advantage. Flexible upgrade, 24 by 7 availability, high volume, high throughput, automated warehouses, the response time in milliseconds. For these reasons, normally people go for decentral. Otherwise, people go for embedded. Simple, right? For these are the main drivers for decentral WM, decentral EWM. Then these two are sort of repeat only. Production integration. If you look for production or QM integration, just check that technical aspects. What feature you are implementing and whether it's supported, or you would be compromising on this. So the dotted arrow is just to be aware that it's supported, but with some limitations. Again, complex S4 core, right? You want to go in a piecemeal, or not a big bang implementation. Then obviously, decentral WM, decentral EWM. Any questions on this understanding, except for this block? Hmm.
Rajan, one question. So, the decentralized S4 HANA can be connected, S4 HANA EW can be connected with ECC and also an S4 HANA ERP system, right?
Correct, correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be connected with ECC and also for S4. That's why, we said if it's a complex S4 core, you are still running in ECC, not migrated to S4 HANA, the other modules. But your priority is the warehouse management module. So you just implement decentral EWM, and then slowly you can migrate the remaining things.
And similar to when you mentioned about that independent suite of EWM, right? So when we go for a decentralized S4 HANA EWM, will we have only EWM in it, or will we have IBP or TM other functions integrated into it?
When you have the S4 core, you're pretty much, talking about the core with all the other modules tightly integrated in the S4 HANA landscape, right? But if you're a classical customer, then NetWeaver is the recommended approach.
Okay.
Those customers, anyway, no fresh implementations are happening in classical world. Maybe there could be some, crazy customers directly going, they don't believe in S4 HANA. But assuming the clients over there were implemented after 9.0, meaning after what we say, like 2014 or something, yeah, 2014, the implementation whichever happened after 2014 were on NetWeaver only. All right,
Okay.
so this is the important one. The most important one is like the decentral warehouse management supports the TCD function, transportation cross docking, which is temporarily not available in embedded EWM. And the other advantage here is synchronous posting. The synchronous goods receipt, wherein you don't want inbound deliveries, direct receiving scenario. So that's only available for embedded. And we said tighter integration with the QM and PP. Especially there is a advanced production integration, which is used for PPPA industry, the process industry. So for that, we call it as API, the advanced production integration scenario. That has very tight integration with ECC. It's not that it's supported here; it's still supported here in decentral, but it's not very tight, in terms of synchronous posting or seamless postings. This would be very interesting. Mostly the synchronous posting. So if you broadly look at it, the all synchronous postings only. That's the advantage of using embedded. And the outbound delivery changes are allowed in e-commerce customers. I don't know why this function is still not available for decentral customers. Um, but I can't, exactly say which are limitations still for the classical customer. So better you check this. I can share it with Akash a little later if you want. So this particular document, which is available in one of the SAP note, will it just the SAP keeps updating the note, and you can refer this document before taking a call on which functions are supported in which three streams. Basically, we have three streams, right? One is the embedded, the other one is decentral, the third one is the classical one, or business suite. So what are the considerations? All features are carefully listed here. This is a 15-page document, so it's worth going through at your leisure. For example, the critical ones, let's say, the inspection. See, many inspection types not applicable, not supported, but in the classical world it's still supported, especially the embedded customers. Most of the IoTs are not applicable. IoT 3, IoT 4, IoT 5 are not applicable, whereas these are supported in decentral. And then the transportation outbound processing, direct creation is supported in all warehouse requests for ODOs, reuse of outbound delivery number, uh, route determination, routing guide. Routing guide is not supported in embedded. So you just go through this, you'll get a good understanding. And maybe if you have some many questions, we can raise it tomorrow. Production integration, QM integration, TM integration. These are the main considerations. Okay. All right. Any questions? No. Okay. Let's move on. How about the freshers? Chandru, Saurav, Swarna, are you guys following? All okay?
Okay.
Yes, it's fine.
Yes, Raj.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Just stop me. If you're not following, just don't hesitate. Or the jargons also try to understand. There are multiple deployment options, but we don't want to spend our effort on the business suite. Anyway, the S4 HANA is the main theme, right? So S4 HANA is simple. these are the 12 drivers. Basically, two of them are duplicated or just a overlap, but just the 10 blocks which will guide you to determine whether embedded approach is better or a decentral approach is a better. And especially this functional thing is important. And broadly speaking, there are more advantage in decentral WM compared to embedded. Embedded, the only option is there is no pain, only one data, reduced carbon footprint, data duplication. Those are the advantages in going for embedded. And the main advantage is synchronous postings. If your vendors are not pretty organized and you have, mostly you do business in Migo and you don't have the inbound delivery, then consider embedded option. Okay, so as I said, the licensing also, there is a basic license and there is an advanced license. And basic license is very basic, even they don't have the wave management. I am quite surprised. I'm not sure about that and the wave management. But rest all you see, there is no value-added services, there is no labor management, cross-docking, kitting, billing, nothing. Okay, the basic is very basic, and the license fee also, significantly less. So as I said, for some of the ECC WM customers who needs a pretty minimal function at the same time, stockroom management is not fulfilling their needs, then they can just go for the basic license. So it's a question of whether they are happy with the basic license or they are happy with the stockroom management. So
Hello, Rajan, this is Siva. So the
yeah,
basic license is part of S4 core, or again it's a separate the basic license.
that's a good point. Now EWM license, as I said, it's in the based on the shipping lines, how many delivery lines, right? They just the customer has to buy, for example, block of 5,000 or block of 10,000, something like that. So in multiples of 5,000 maybe, but I don't know precisely. The things are changing. I don't want to, but just keep in mind the EWM license is based on the
Okay.
delivery lines and also quantity. You can't fool the SAP by, for example, even if you have 5 lines and you are dispatching or shipping huge quantities, then there is something that also being considered for the license section. So in essence, SAP is looking at the business share actually. So if you are shipping more, then you pay more for the license because more headache for the maintenance and the custom support and the SAP support. Mm. But coming to your question, exact question, I don't know whether basic license is part of. But basic license again, I assume, if I am not mistaken, I think there is an additional cost involved.
Okay.
Okay, so now when it comes to system integration, this is quite technical in nature. But before that, let me just do one more round of vanilla demos. So just for the freshers, pay attention, especially the freshers. So again, document wise, it's not complex. We don't want to go again and again and again. Simple purchase order, then the inbound delivery. Then we have only one document, the main document, inbound delivery, tasks and WO. That's it. And the GR and GA are triggered at the appropriate time. The goods receipt is triggered before put away or after put away. But goods issue always, after the loading or, after staging. So here we have the sales order. Let me get the pointer. So the sales order or the stock transport order, the delivery due list is churning out the deliveries. If there is any transportation planning or any incompletion, it stays there in ECC. Once the incompletions are all completed, then it moves to EWM. And in EWM, uh, you create the tasks either directly or you assign these requests to a wave and then you release the wave. That's a much better option. When you release the wave, the tasks are created and then you do the PPSL, pick, pack, stage, load, and then the goods issue is triggered. When you trigger the goods issue, it communicates the information back to ECC. All right, now I'm going to show a demo inbound followed by outbound.
One
Mm,
more question.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, no,
So
sorry,
that basic.
nothing.
Okay. So can we use that EWM as a standalone without any ERP integration?
Without ERP integration, then uh, you need some preceding documents, right? It has to come from a third-party system, non-SAP system, maybe.
Okay. So the request, the outbound delivery request has to be come from the other system. It can't be created directly in the EWM, is it?
Because you are just a EWM system, right? You are a slave system only, but you need the sales order, or the delivery instructions, right? The delivery has to come, right? What you need to deliver, how do you know? But if you are just running EWM alone without SD module or the procurement module.
Okay, I mean to say that can't we create manually in the EWM the requests? No, right?
Technically, you can create a direct ODO. For example, the customer is coming and doing the pickup at your location, or you are, sending the goods to your internal cost center, or for sampling purpose, right? So you can just trigger the document from EWM, which will
Okay.
post delivery in ECC.
So the inventory managements are all in the ECC, right? Basically, the
The
accounting.
inventory management is ECC, the material document accounting, the finance. That's why we say the core. Core is core. All the other modules, yeah.
Okay.
Because in EWM we are just only quantity management, right? We are just bin level. We are maintaining the stocks, but the actual finance, cost accountings, all happens in the core. For
Thanks.
that, we need to integrate with core. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Good question. Now, let's move on. So I would be going through this on a daily basis. Like this, we know key features of IM. We know, right? Can anyone say what are the key features of IM? IM, for instance, quantity management, value management, different stock types, special stock handling. Limitations of IM. IM is a black box, and when it comes to bin management, beyond the threshold, it's very difficult to maintain the registers and other uh, overheads are there. Nutshell objective we know, right time, the right goods needs to be delivered to the right customer. And why to store goods also we know, regardless of MTS or MTO, we need to store the goods. And why EWM? Anyone? Why not WM?
To manage.
Because of
Good, good. Sorry.
process and yeah, thank you. Like a process and a layout complexity and multiple
Superb.
ways.
Yeah, operational complexity, product complexity, process complexity, and layout complexity. Simple. So it's built for the kill for high throughput, high volume warehouses, anyways. And then the wave management with pack specs, with the HU, we can do real magic. And last but not the least, the exception codes, and also the monitor, right? We don't want to go into several transaction codes, just a one-stop shop. The warehouse monitor is a single place from where we can do the entire operations. So what are the main functions that's meant for high volume, high throughput complex warehouses, which we talked about? The main functions are wave management, the warehouse the creation rules, and then the internal routing, the POSC plus LOSC. Which industries? We know all the industries pretty much, wholesale retail, and especially wholesale retail, and also 3PL. 3PL is not an industry, just service providers. History and evolution, last 4-5 years are amazing years for EWM. Sub areas, inbound, outbound, storage and operations. Deployment options now we know in S4 on-prem, we have two deployment options, decentral and embedded. So what are the deployment options for classical customers on the SCM server or on a NetWeaver? So why is distribution model required? Distribution model is required to send the BAPIs or the deliveries to EWM. So these things we have not covered. Let me just do this demo first. Right. So let's just I shared the IDs to you guys. The password is welcome one WCAPS. The credentials and the user ID and the allocation has been shared. Please ensure that you are doing the exercises in your own warehouse and using your materials and also the master data, especially the customer master data. I'm not sure whether I did the. Let me just open the allocation. Participants allocation. I think just for tracking purpose, the freshers I have allocated 2, 4, 5. There are some missing missing tooths, like like 137 are dead allocated for some other. So people be careful. That's why. So the one warehouse and three warehouse and seven are not shown up here. Seven is going to be used by me, and 12 also. So just keep in
Uh,
mind. Yeah. So the two is allocated to Chandru. Am I sharing the screen? Yeah.
yes, I haven't received that
Yeah,
credentials.
maybe you will receive it from Akash. It's not a hurry. You need not jump now. Maybe, at the end of the day or the last 30 minutes, you see if you can log in and, connect. So Chandru number two, warehouse number two, Saurav four, Swarna five, 245 taken by the freshers. And then Aditya six, Subha eight, Govind nine, Manish 10, Shravan 11, 13 is a nice number allocated to KV. And the Shiva Kumar, right? This is Shiva 14. So we have participants 1 to 10. This is your user ID, and password is this is your warehouse number, right? I should just have a heading as well. Insert. This is your user ID, and this is your warehouse code. This is your warehouse code, and this is a password. For time being, I just said welcome one for everyone. Okay. All right. So now let me just log in. So I'm going to create a PO again, the inbound scenario, ME21N. Just stop me if you're not following EWM 17 vendor. Just save them in your personal settings, right? For example, the default values. 1710 is the purchase org. Company code is 1710 and plant code also 1710. And for example, I'm going to use EW07 warehouse. So RD07 is my warehouse. Yeah. The location, sorry, location is RD07. We have two locations, one for received on dock, the other one for available for sale. I'll touch upon that, little later. So now, all good. To save this default settings or personal settings, then I'm going to use my product LP107. So I'll take two examples. One I'm showing the addition to stock, the other one maybe next empty bin. So when I say addition to stock, it's going to add to the existing HU that is sitting in a bin. The next empty bin you can imagine as a standalone module like a rotor or a motor or a diesel generator. So there is no scope for addition to the existing thing, right? It has to be always a next empty bin. So I have two products, LP1 and LP2. Um, I take whatever quantities I want, maybe 10 each, okay, and save my PO. And as I said, the confirmation control key is quite important in order to create the inbound delivery. This is sort of prerequisite, and then the PO is saved. 415. Now I create the inbound delivery. Van demo 22.6. All right. So now this important thing is go to the stock placement tab. You see the plant storage location determine the warehouse number E07, and this warehouse is EWM managed. This we know. The EWM managed, the setting is over here, whether it's EWM managed or DWM or ECCWM. The control is here. Don't focus attention on this, the path of the IMG, but just appreciate the function. But figuring out this is not a big deal. Either it has to be there in logistics execution or SCM EWM only. It's just not that complicated, like finding Osama bin Laden in Afghanistan. It's not that complicated. It's simple. So now you see logistics execution, EWM basic settings, and then configure EWM parameters. So E7 is maintained as EWM warehouse, and here we are saying distribute immediately, and batch determination preferably has to happen in EWM, because the ECC may be doing it well in advance, whereas EWM right time it doing the batch determination, and also it considers the layout. ECC may be sitting in an ivory tower and smoking crack maybe, and this is a queued remote function call. So the QRFC is the way of communicating the transactional data. Anyone, what is the difference between QRFC and RFC?
Serialized, non-serialized.
Correct. What does it mean? Serialized means what is serialized?
One and one another next, something like that.
Yeah, there's a dependency. There's a business validation happens. For example, if you're triggering a split message, if the split message is not going through, it failed for whatever reasons, then obviously the PGA message also will fail. Similarly, if the inbound packing information has not gone, or the split information is not gone, or changes is not communicated for whatever reasons, then the subsequent messages like the GR message or the goods issue message will also fail. That is called serialized QRFC, queued remote function call. Whereas the RFC, there is no dependency. It's all individual calls. There is no nothing binding on based on another one. So delivery changes, this we talked about, whether outbound delivery only. This is not inbound delivery. They should say outbound delivery changes. Inbound delivery changes anyway are allowed. It's up to the EWM system to accept or to deny the changes. Serial number, can it be captured in EWM, or can it be modified in EWM? So better to allow this. Now, the I'm following the inbound delivery. So my plant storage location is sent to the intermediate warehouse, and my intermediate warehouse is EWM managed. And next thing, it will look for the distribution model. So I save this delivery. System will look for the distribution model. So the distribution model is here. You can generate it here, but actually speaking, the transaction would be locked in the production environment. So you got to do this business by using BD64. So BD64 is a transaction. So I just show the distribution model. So this is the sending system, or ECC system, and this is your EWM dummy system, the EWM dummy logical system. Don't try to modify or change, these logical systems. These are, as I said, running many trainings parallelly. So just keep in mind, this is your ECC system, logical system. This is your EWM dummy system. Why dummy system? Because we are embedded environment. We are not in a decentral environment. But if you are a decentral customer, this is a real, not a dummy. So these are the BAPIs, being called. At the end of the day, you see there is a delivery replica and delivery change. Delivery replica means to replicate the delivery, and delivery changes to communicate the changes or the delta. Why two? One for inbound, one for outbound. Simple as that. Yeah. Now, let me see my warehouse if it is maintained. So I open the filter, and you can just keep adding here. And the my warehouse's number is there 7. So these warehouses are reserved. 1, 3, 7, 21 are reserved actually. Yeah, 20 as well. Yeah. Now, um, so now you can just go and add. Either you can run this program. For example, if I want to do it for warehouse number 12, so I can just go here, EW12, the intermediate warehouse code is 12, and then the dummy logical system, and then the model name is EWM only. For a single landscape, you can't create two models. Everything should follow the same model. If I try to do load it in EWM1, maybe system should stop me. The following entries must be first be cleansed. Okay. It's recommended, right? Not to. So it will create these entries. If there are entries, it will refresh them or cleanse them before creating new entries. So these are the BAPIs. At the end of the day, these are the BAPIs, and the underlying function modules would be called, and the transactional data flow has to happen. Even if you're an embedded customer, you got to do this distribution model to send the transactional data. It's as good as like going and eating the ceiling and coming back. So now my warehouse is enabled. So that's why the delivery. The moment I save the delivery is replicated. So you see the inbound delivery. If I go in change mode, the changes are not allowed. See, it says delivery was distributed, therefore display only. So you may be asking the question, right? Inbound delivery changes, how can I communicate? So there are other transaction codes like VL60, and if you're using the IDOC communication, then the changes are supported, but it's just not supported in VL32N. Okay, but if you go to VL60, you can send the changes to EWM. Any questions up until now? See the delivery as the status B distributed. Chandru, Sauro, Swarna.
Hi Rajan,
Mm-hmm.
like good morning. First of all, am I audible?
Yeah, audible. You're
Yeah.
audible. Yeah, go ahead.
So, like again, we were not able to catch up on this demo, like why we are doing specific things. So, like yes, this demo, like we were not able to get anything from this demo.
So Rajan, now we don't have any basic knowledge about it, like how the software works, one or the other. The what you're saying, like the theory part, or what after comes the another is like we are able to understand a little bit about it, but then the whole process of
Hmm.
the software, what you are explaining right now, what we have to do on software, you're not getting that part actually.
I
So
thought you guys had some, basic thing. Like for example, the MM, you need to know, right? Why for people, create a PO. Purchase order is the one where you want to procure the goods or the services from the vendor. So that is one document which needs to be sent to the vendor. For that's basically a legal document, right? So these things, at least, I assume that you might be knowing. Even though you're fresher, maybe you are spend some 2 3 months in shadowing some people and understanding some basic concepts in MM. But if you're not there, directly um, attending this training, I think you would be having some challenges, or maybe you have to do some lot of homework.
Hello, Rajan.
Yeah.
Uh, can you send material step-by-step process? For,
Sorry.
can you do any materials for step-by-step process for inbound delivery?
Inbound delivery. What do you want? Sorry, your voice is
Step-by-step process. How to do?
step by step process. The user guide and all these people will help you actually. The maybe ZaranTech maybe having some other trainings. But what I'm saying is, like, try to understand. PO is a legal document. Just try to understand conceptually. Don't worry about how to create the document, step by step procedure. These all, a matter of dirtying your hands only. Once you jump into the system, the first transaction is difficult for sure. And afterwards it's easy. But just try to understand, or just see why there is a need for PO. What is PO? These things are important, rather than, how am I going to create a PO and inbound delivery, the transaction codes. These things, if you take it in on your mind, then it's difficult to learn. But at this point in time, you have to be smart enough to appreciate the conceptual knowledge and, simplify them and store them in your memory. That's more important, rather than, to create a PO is not a big deal. You watch me 1 or 2 times. That's what we are going to do, in this entire 30 exercises. All that we are going to do is PO creation and delivery creation only. So sooner or later you will learn that. The more you early you jump in, right, you will learn this mean. So first try to understand what for a PO. PO is the document which is sent to the vendor to say that, I'm going to procure these goods or services. And inbound delivery is the one wherein vendor is sending the data, the advanced data. For example, you want some material, product A, 100 quantity on a given date. He's saying I can send the product A on the same date, but not that much quantity. Maybe, I can just fulfill only 70%. That is advanced shipping notification. And it comes electronically mostly, if you are doing the supply network collaboration or Ariba. Otherwise you got to manually create this document, which is called inbound delivery. That's what I was showing in VL31N, the transaction code, against the reference of with the PO reference. And then when it comes to EWM, the delivery is distributed to the EWM instance. So we have two instances, one ECC instance and one EWM instance. So in EWM, we have only one document. Life is very simple, and against which you create the task. Normally, the PPF is the one which creates the task in production environment, but in our demo environment, we are creating the task manually, or the task can be created on the fly. You remember whenever I go to this RF UI transaction, that is just mimicking the tiny ruggedized device, the Zebra devices especially. So simple, all that the operator is doing is confirming the tasks only. So for every movement in the warehouse, there is a movement, right? A to B, or put away, picking, replenishment. For all these, you need a task. In SAP there is a document called warehouse task. So to execute all these movements, and also to do the activities in the pack work center or VAS work center, you need a task. Those tasks might happen in the background, but in order to execute a task, you need a order, warehouse order, tied to the tasks, and these orders are assigned to the operator. So if you know conceptually, if you could understand this much, right, whatever I talked in this past 5 minutes or so, that's good enough actually. And then coming to the practice, you just need to jump and then dirty your hands. There is no other way. If you are not learned the basics earlier, and this is the first time you are seeing the SAP system, and you, are you guys following? Who was it? Saurav, right? Saurav, I can understand Saurav. Yeah.
Actually, this is the first time we are using the software, so
Mm,
that's why but the theory part we were able to got those things, but
okay.
how we are shifting from one phase to another in the software, that was still
Software simple, right? I mean, this is a window to put the transaction code. The transaction code, whatever we
Mhm.
talked about. For example, ME21N. Don't worry about the T code. I have shared a document with Akash.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the T
I got
the T code is there. That's it, and then it will invoke the that the application for that whatever we are calling, right? So that would be displayed. And all that I'm saying, SAP is a document intensive system. We are posting documents only. We are creating a PO document. We are creating an inbound
yes.
delivery document and the task document only. These are documents, in
Maybe if we
SAP.
can go a bit slower and like for once again, like maybe it will be a bit better. Can we just do that?
Yeah, the only thing is, you need to. I can go, I can just notch down, but still,
Yeah.
you need to revisit this recording only, and then stop at the document creation and spend some time. See, as I said, the
So
simple
we will do that.
personal settings. You go and maintain the settings, right? Just by watching the video, you will understand, right? Even if I am navigating swiftly, you can just watch, rewind, and then do these things. So as I said, every document is having a header and then item, header and item. So header, you maintain some, org elements like which purchase org, which group is doing the procurement, which company code is doing the procurement.
Okay.
These are upstream things, don't worry much. For any company, you need a company code. And if you are doing
Mhm.
purchasing activities, you need a purchase organization, and
Yes.
we start with plant code only. Plant is our, it could be a distribution center or manufacturing plant. So I'm going to cover that, in the org structure shortly. Uh, Currently, we are just looking at the document flow between these two systems, and also try to appreciate the process end to end. So I just maintain some default, to make my life easier, so that I no need to, punch them every time. So you see, what is required? Bare minimum, right? There is a document type getting defaulted, and then I give the supplier code. In my buffer it is there. So once you have it in your thing, the buffer, this is a vendor code or supplier code. Then we give the material code, right? Which material you are procuring from the vendor, right? Simple. And then how much
So
quantity you are
these are
procuring.
default entries, right?
These are not default entries. No, I'm punching in. These are entries which I'm punching in, right?
No,
Default
like
entries.
the supplier EWM 17SU01
I
and
entered,
this.
right? I entered, yeah. I'm entering manually, you see.
No, no, you are entering it manually, but somewhere it needs to be stored, no? Like the supplier information. Okay, these
Yeah,
are my
supplier is a
suppliers.
master data, right? Supplier is
Yeah,
again a master data.
so
So first
that is default.
three things you should know, right? In SAP, there is a configuration data, which is
Mhm.
a longer time data, like meaning if at all you want to make any changes, you have to do the sort of implementation or enhancement projects. There is something called master data, which will be longer duration. For example, the material master, the customer master,
Mhm.
the vendor
Right,
master.
right.
It's not a day in, day out, affair you're going to change. It may be once in a week or once in a month, you'll be doing some changes to the master data. Another set of data is called transactional data. That is called, these are the ones, the purchase order,
Yeah,
the
that we are
delivery.
getting right.
So three types of data only. So in order to do transactional data, there are some prerequisites. For example, if you want to create a PO, obviously you need a vendor. If you want to create
Yeah.
a sales order, you need a customer master.
Yeah.
Right. So you just spend some time. I can see, like, I have to talk to Syed only. They should have given you guys some prior training, before putting you in EWM. This is quite adventurous, in directly taking the EWM module. Um, but it's I don't know. I can just put myself in your shoes. I can imagine the challenges, but you guys have to, yeah, this is one way better also, So there used to be some
Yes, we can
in
go
in
through
in
the
in
videos again and again, and we
in
will.
Vietnam. I mean, there used to be a guy who was like kissing with the cobras. Actually, that guy was missing on one day, or 2 days. He had some booze, and then the show was there. All the participants were there, but the father was not there. So they said your father has collected the money and disappeared, and they made the son to play with the cobra. So that's why the son has learned the playing with the cobras, like that. You guys are doing now, straight away getting into the act. All the best, Saurav, Chandru, and
Yeah.
Swarna. All right, so watch me. I can slow down, but not to a very major extent, And that in that way, 40 hours would not be sufficient for me to do a meaningful job for sure. Um, Let me
Yes,
see.
Rajan, we understood. That's okay. Go on
Yeah,
with.
I'll try my best, to slow down whenever I come to do the postings. So I will do at least 2 times the demo so that it will be there. And as I said, not a big deal. Just watch my videos.
Sure, sure. That will help us.
That will help you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I save the PO purchase order. Now we have the number 416. You see. Then all that I'm going is invoking the transaction code VL31N. This is the inbound delivery. Okay. Now the reference is automatically defaulted. Now I just give a reference number. This is the vendor reference number. All right. So this is dedicated to now Saurav. Now I'm just creating an inbound delivery. All right. You see, these are the important things: the plant and storage location, picking up the EWM warehouse, and this is the intermediate warehouse. And then it looks for the distribution model, and it says immediate distribution. That's it, right? So the delivery is distributed or replicated to the EWM instance. Now we are in S4 core. This is the embedded instance, right? So embedded system, it has two instances. One is the core, the other one is your EWM. The core has the other modules like the finance, the the procurement, the manufacturing, the sales and distribution. All modules, I would say, the core modules, which are there in the S4 core. And EWM is one more peripheral module, or the extended module. You know, so that is there in the same box, in the same system. So now I'm going to save this delivery. So the delivery number is created. One more document is created. Simple. In SAP, it's simple. VL31N delivery creation. So you go to VL32N delivery display change, and then VL33N is display. Simple. If you know these three things, it's good. And wherever you see this pencil icon, this is a change one. And the lens, right? That is display. And this one is the overview where the sun is setting behind the clouds. And this is a header on, right? Simple. So all these are, I don't want to complicate with Fury. These are the basic ones. Now, let's take this delivery number and I just go to the monitor, right? In EWM, the central transaction is MON, MON, MON. And I told you that you need to always prefix these things. /n means a new session is open, and SCW means supply chain warehouse management. Okay, now I just go there and my warehouse is EW07. Just in case if you're not getting the actual warehouse allocated to you, you can change to your warehouse, right? So this you can do. Now you open the inbound folder, documents, inbound delivery, and here you double click and just go to the bottom and give the LE number. The document which was created in the core is called logistics execution document. Logistics execution is a module which has shipping, the inventory management, and transportation. These three modules bundled together is called logistics execution module, LE. Like we have MM, SD, and manufacturing or production. Likewise, we have the LE, which has a overlapping function with other components taken from MM, some taken from SD. Any questions, freshers up until now?
Understood, Rajan.
Understood, right? Yeah, just
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a little bit attention, and you just need to spend more time in order to just carry on these many 40-hour sessions. Yeah, right. Now I just filtered them, and I got this document, and now from here you can click on this hypertext or hotspot or whatever, and then you just go and spend some time in this delivery document. Right? What is it I'm saying, right? The header, and we talked about, right, how to toggle between the form view and list view. All right, and the item level we have the product code, the quantity, the batch information. At the header we have the basic information like the GR office, the shipping notification. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create the task, right? So if you see my PPT, so far so good, right? We have the PO against which we have the delivery document. All right, this is a delivery document. And now I'm going to create the tasks. So why do we create the task? Because tasks are the one which are required by the operator to do the movement in the warehouse. What sort of movement we are talking about? Put away, replenishment, pick in, or it could be unloading. Now I create the tasks. So how to create the task? You can just select this and then go to the following functions and create tasks. Right? You can select one of them and then press the button create, or you can just create and save if you're super confident, but if you want to learn, so you press the button create, and then you see the log, how the system is determining the bin. So we don't want the same problem like what happened earlier, right? So for the time being, I will remove the door. We don't want to do directly from door, so rather we want to do it from the staging area. So I just remove the door and put the GR staging area. Also, let me just pack it here in EWM. So there are n number of ways to do the packing, right? So packing means we are constructing a handling unit. So handling unit, you guys are now sure, right? What is handling unit? Anyone? Chandru, Saurav, or Swarna?
So Rajan, one doubt there. So
Mhm.
whatever door you just mentioned, right? So what exactly was that? Is that something relevant to storage bin or what was that? I didn't understand that step.
No, door means I am doing a complex step actually. I have unloading and then put away, which I don't want to complicate now. All that I'm doing is assuming I don't have the unload option, right? I'm just doing the the loose items unloading, or I don't have a palletized load, or meaning I don't have the HU shared by the vendor.
Okay.
I want to make the life simple. To start with, I'm doing the packing. As I receive, I do the packing in the desktop, or maybe I can do the packing in the mobile device. So I'm just showing how to do the packing in the desktop environment. So you put the packaging material and you construct the HU, whether an external number or an internal number, right? In my case, I'm just generating an internal number. See, the HU number is 817108. And then what I'm doing, I'm just dragging and dropping this to do the actual packing. So for example, I select this one and then drag and drop it here, right? Similarly, for the second item, I'm constructing one more HU. A problem occurred, please leave the log for details. Now I select another one and I move this for the time being before that, let me just there's a problem with the on setting there. Let me just remove the config. 1 second. So let me remove this POSC for the time being. We'll take it little later, the multi-step put away. For time being, we'll say this is a simple put away or direct put away. I'll just create a request. Um, TCS June batch. All right. So now I just do the packing now. Why packing? Because HU is mandatory in the rack storage. We need to only receive the HUs. If there are some storage types where we can receive the non-HU, then there is no need for packing. The packing, as I said, it's optional. It depends on the storage type. What sort of items and what is your control. In my scenario, these products are meant for rack storage, and HU is mandatory over there. So that's why I'm packing it and constructing the HU. So done. Now I just create one more HU. I just give the packaging material and then say execute. Another HU is created, and then I just select that second row and then drop it here. So it's packed, you see, packing completed. Then I can press the save button. So this is what a receiving clerk would be doing using a desktop transaction. As soon as they receive it from the vendor, they do the packing in order to, for example, if they receive 100 quantity, they will put a 10 each on one pallet. Either they can use the packaging specification master data and do it in one shot, or they can pack one at a time. And then, as I said, the GR can be posted before put away or after put away, not a problem. So the GR has to be triggered only, triggering happening from EWM, but actual posting happens in ECC. So when I say the GR, press the button. Now, if you go and see the document flow in the ECC instance, so where to see the document flow? VL33N. So here, if I display the document which just now got created, I think this is a document, right? 448, 449, sorry, 449. So this, click the icon for the document flow. You see, we have the inbound delivery against which you posted the GR. The GR is the actual, document which will increase the quantity. It updates the stock and also the finance postings. For example, if you see, this is the material document posted by me. All right. There's a movement type also 101, which will increase the quantity in our storage location and also in a warehouse location. And also it has a FI document, you know. These things are, expected from you guys when you come as a fresher. At least some basic understanding of the module is required. You can't directly jump into the EWM. If you're jumping into EWM, then it's more effort required. All right, so the FI documents are there. Now let me move on. So I just go to create a task now. We have the packing completed and then we triggered the GR. The next step, if you follow this, so where are we? Inbound delivery. We have done the packing because these are packed products. And then I'm going to create the task now. So I just go and create the task. Either you can do it here or in the monitor, we can create the task. So this is how you can create the task. We press the button create. Now it says I'm going from staging area to the rack storage. RKG is my rack storage. RKG is my iRack storage. These are different storage types. We will cover them when we talk about the org elements. As of now, you see there's a storage type. Uh, if you want to know about this storage type, I showed you, right? A lot of images. You can Google them, what is a rack storage, what's a shelf storage, mezzanine storage, you get all pictures of those storage types. Now I just select both of them and then create and save. All right. So always stay in the monitor. It's easy so that you don't get lost. So in the monitor, you select your inbound delivery and you can jump here, right, to the task. So we have two tasks created, for two HUs, moving from, I should have the selection criteria. This was done for another user. So anyways, so I can just close this, and I can use another user. I need to do a lot of user settings, which I'll use my another ID. In this case, I will be having a lot of visibility in the display. Okay, so now I'm going to the monitor. Sorry, mon, and the inbound delivery 449. So 449, execute, and then you jump to the task, and here you see it's moving from staging area to the rack storage. So you can create the task from here also. So you can create the task straight away from here as well, or within the document. There are two options available. Any questions on creation of task? So it's quite easy. If you take a step back, you can easily digest. So far we did the PO, and against which we have the IBD, and then the inbound delivery was replicated immediately or distributed immediately. And now with this document, we did some additional things like the GR triggered, but before triggering the GR, we did the packing. And now we have the tasks created, manually. The task can be created either from the transaction code VL, the PRDI, or you can do it from the monitor. From the monitor, you can just select and create the task. Now, with regards to the confirmation of the task, I told you that 90% of the time the operator would be using the mobile device to confirm the task. So I'm going to show you how to confirm the task in the mobile device. So login using the transaction code RFUI, radio frequency user interface, RFUI. And this is the tiny screen, which will be shown in the ruggedized device. So I just log in the EW07 warehouse. I take a forklift number 7. I just go inside. Inbound process, put away by HU, and I scan this HU number. The HU number is a pallet number, right? Which is a barcode, which is barcoded and pasted on the pallet. So I scan that pallet ID, and then I just keep moving. So I just move to the destination area. From staging area, I scan the pallet, and now I am at the destination, meaning at the rack storage. So here I'm going to scan the product code and confirm the quantity, and also scan the bin barcode. The bin has a barcode or a QR code. The product can have a QR code, or the uh, then I scan the bin barcode and the destination HU one more time. That's it. That means the task is confirmed, and physically, I am placed the goods in the bin. Now the stocks are available in the bin. See, if you display the task, this task number 1 is confirmed. Why two tasks? Whenever you do it in the mobile device, it happens in two legs or two steps, from source to resource and resource to destination. Why two legs? Because if I am an operator, I put the pallet on the forklift, and I can be going for a tea break or lunch break. So the supervisor might want to track the pallets which are on my pallet, on my forklift. So for that reason, whenever you do the confirmation in a mobile device or equivalent RFUI, it happens in two steps actually, from source to resource and resource to destination. Then if you want to confirm the second task, you can do it directly by selecting here and clicking on the method confirm task in background. That's it. So the tasks are confirmed and the inbound loop is completed. And if you want to track the pallets, just copy them and then go to the stock and bin and check for your available stock or physical stock. So you can pass on the HU numbers here, and then you can see them. This HU number 110 is there in bin number 11C, and another HU 111 ending with 111 is there in 51A. Understood? So this completes the inbound, meaning I have placed the order to the vendor and I received the material, and I did the packing, and also I did the put away. So there are two operators in the warehouse. One is a receiving operator who is doing the packing, maybe at the pack area or at the staging area. And then another operator who is doing the put away, who is a forklift operator. So before coming to the session, I would recommend you watch some YouTube videos for the warehouse management module. Like just randomly put receiving or put away how people are doing it, and so watch some videos. Then it would be strengthening your concepts if you have not visited the warehouse. Okay, let's take a break now. It's 10:37. We'll take a 13 minutes break and then connect back at 10:50. Any questions from anyone else or
Yes.
from yeah.
Yes. Two questions. One is receiving. So basically, when we receive it, it will be in that staging area, and then after that warehouse task, it will be moved to the rack. Am I right?
Correct. You need a task, right? For any movement from one area into another area, we need a task.
Okay. Okay.
Normally, you do your receiving in the staging area, meaning you do the
Staging.
unloading from the
Mhm.
door or from the TU to the staging bay. Staging area, why we are doing the staging? Because you can imagine, right, when you're doing a packers and movers also, you
Yeah.
receive them and you check them, maybe at the, the ground level, and then only you take it on the lift, okay, all good, properly unloaded from the truck. You can just imagine if you're not going to see in the warehouse, it's just the packers and movers. You're receiving all your individual packages with the numbers, right? 1 of 20, 2 of 20, 3 of 20. So you are tallying them. That is staging area, a temporary area where you are doing the visual checks and everything is good to go. Then you do the movement, maybe to the workstation in order to perform some other activity, maybe a deconsolidation or value added services or quality inspection, and then finally do the put away.
Okay. So the staging is area is also a bin or
Staging area also a storage type with a roll and a bin.
thank you.
Each
And
area is a storage type, with different role. For example, door is a storage type with the role. Staging area is a role with the, storage type with the role.
Mhm. Okay. Okay.
In EWM, everything is a storage type and a bin. Yeah, with different roles. The roles could be door, staging area, or destination bins, or it could be a work center.
So in the role, we can the restrict or the activities can be assigned or something, right?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All the business logic or the ABAP coding is based on the role only.
Okay. Okay. And second question, so in the packing, so you did a packing manually. So the automatic packing is also possible?
Automatic packing is possible, and there are n number of ways. The vendor can send the packing information from the Ariba portal, you know,
Mhm.
or the you can do the packing manually in the desktop, or you can do the packing on the fly in the mobile device, or the packing can be automated.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Right, Shiva. All right. Any other questions from anyone before we just take a
Rajan, one question I was not clear on that source to resource and resource to destination. That you mentioned that will happen only when we confirm with RF, right?
right?
So, but warehouse task we created in a foreground GUI transaction.
But
That
still, it gets
means
splitted actually. The same
okay.
task, even though one task is created, it gets splitted into two legs actually, or two different tasks, or two different task items. Yeah,
That happens at the time of warehouse task creation or at the time of confirmation.
during confirmation only, because task creation you don't know whether you are doing a desktop confirmation or RF confirmation.
Okay, so when I confirm the task, that means that put away is already completed, right? So what benefit does it give the supervisor in monitoring whether it is on my forklift or on the high rack storage? Because when I confirmed, it's already in the high rack storage. Right?
So when you confirm it, right? For example, you're taking good 20 minutes, from the staging area to the my final destination, right? Your time starts now. 10:40, you pick the stock from the staging area. Now the
Correct.
supervisor, I know if I am checking by 10 for 50, I know that you have not reached the destination. You have grabbed it from the source, but still, you are not moved to the destination. That I know or not.
So because the warehouse task is open, that means it is not yet reached to the destination, right?
Correct. It's partially confirmed, meaning the first leg is confirmed, meaning that you have gone to the staging area and you grab the pallet, but you have not reached the destination.
I,
Are you following? Not.
no, no. I'm not clear because see, the warehouse task is created. Once the warehouse task is created, it will show that this warehouse task for movement from the staging area to the high rack storage is open. So
Correct.
when the resource when the resource goes to that staging area and puts that box on his forklift, on his or her forklift, it will
Hmm.
not update anything in the system, right?
It will update, right? It will split the task and it will confirm the task. It will say
How,
now the pallet is with resource, not
but
anymore on the
how
staging
will the
area.
system know? Does he scan something, or how will the
He's scanning, right? If you watch me closely, when I go to the RFUI, I showed you, right? At the moment I scan the pallet, it shows me the destination.
correct? My thought was that action he will perform once he is at the high rack storage. Is it not the case?
No, but there are two screens, right? The source screen and destination screen. The source screen is the one where if I scan the HU, that means I am doing the business at the staging area. Then the
Okay.
next screen shows up. The next screen means that I have reached the destination.
Okay, he will complete that source scanning, and then he
Hmm.
will keep that screen. He will go to that staging.
No, he will not
Sorry.
keep the screen. The moment he scans the HU in the source screen, immediately the destination screen is shown because he needs to know where he got to go, right?
Huh.
That information is available in the destination screen only. But you are
Okay.
done with the source, meaning the moment you scan the HU, it loads onto your device, meaning it's with the Aditya. It's no more at the
Okay.
staging bay.
Okay. So that time the task splitting has happened, and the first task is confirmed, which means that putting from the staging area to his forklift
To the
and
resource. You
to
see
the
here, you see
resource.
here, you see
Yeah.
here, let's just see here parallelly. So I'm
I
just pulling
can.
the resource also.
Yeah, we cannot see your screen. Yeah.
You're not sharing my screen. I'm not
Yeah.
sharing my screen. Yeah. Uh, so in the monitor, to see the two tasks, right? These are the two tasks. Right, from the source bin, which is my staging bin, to the resource. Where is the resource? So if I want to see the resource, then I change the layout and I get the resource, destination resource, and then I get the source resource also. I just put them besides here. Activity. So so you see, let me just move it to the appropriate place. Yeah. So from the source bin to the destination resource, which is forklift number 7, assuming there are 10 forklifts, I'm using forklift number 7. So
Yeah.
it's loaded on my resource. Then the next leg task is like from the forklift number 7, it's offloading to the bin.
Okay. Yeah. This will happen when the second confirmation also he will do after putting in the destination.
Right. That's what I said. This task will help you to do the real world, movement as well. These are all in correlation with the real physical movement of the material. So on the fly or real time updates using the mobile device.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
That way I can track you. For example, I expect a 10 minutes for you, but if you're starting and then if you're not done within 10 minutes, the first task is confirmed. The second task is not confirmed, so I can just catch you, Aditya.
Yeah. Got it. Now it is clear.
Now
This
it's
is
clear.
only enabled for RF.
Right, because in RF only you are dealing with the real world. But if
Yeah.
you are doing a paper-based post-factor confirmation, then you are asking, for example, Manish has done the confirmation. So you as a supervisor, you are confirming this method, right? Maybe you can put some timestamp also. How much time, Manish, you have taken? 15 minutes. Okay, I can capture the time.
Okay.
But I'm doing it in one shot, right? So maybe I would be confirming 10 tasks also, together. So it just happens in one shot. There is no need to split the task.
Yeah. And there's just one follow-up question. Maybe if you will cover it, it's fine. Like, how will the destination resource get determined? Like FLT7,
Because
how
I
did?
am logging in, right? I just
Oh,
scanned the
through that RFUI.
RFUA. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks.
Okay, fine. Stopping the sharing. Let's just connect back at maybe 11 a.m. Yeah, and run the show for the last 1 hour. Today, I'm afraid till the theory sessions only. Maybe from tomorrow onwards, you will start chipping in and working in your warehouses. The integration setup is pretty much done. You can just verify them and then confirm them. If the entries are not maintained, you can maintain them as well. All right, let's connect at 11 a.m. Yes, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah,
Yes,
Rajesh.
Raj.
You can, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Said, are you there by any chance? Any feedback, comments from your end? Said,
Hi, morning.
hey, said, morning, good morning. Said.
Yeah, it's going good. Okay, so the break time done. Okay, so how is going sessions and all?
You asking me? Said,
No, no, hi guys. Did you understand?
yeah, okay.
Hello. Mostly
Yes.
the freshers.
Just three of them only, right? They're struggling a bit.
Yeah, are you getting freshers? Can you?
Like, yes, hi Sayed. Like, we were able to get up. Like afterwards, like when it was the pace was bit slowed down. Well, then we got all of it.
Yeah, we need to homework at after the sections. Okay,
Yes.
then only you
After.
capture. Okay, so
Yes.
you need to do some extra. Uh, Okay, so extra thing you need to homework. So whatever going these so the sections, and also you
Mhm.
people are getting videos also daily,
Yes.
if I am not wrong. Correct.
Like the videos haven't been uploaded yet, but like it will be uploaded in 24 to 48 hours. Like, and when it will get uploaded, we will definitely go through them twice or thrice,
So
like as
yesterday's
many times.
sections you will get today, I think. Okay, in that case.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so because they do some modifications in the recordings and all.
Mhm.
If anything discussion and all happen because it goes lengthy enough, so they will do some modification, then they'll upload normally.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys can use that videos. Okay,
Mhm.
so after the sections,
Yes.
okay, so mostly for freshers and experienced guys also need to take a homework and exercises. Okay, so it's only 2 days. This is second day. So hope yeah, you people are getting and enjoying the section. And please cooperate with Rajan and make the sections interactive. Okay, so you can ask any questions with Rajan. If you don't get anything, please ask him. So okay,
Yes.
so he will definitely help you. Thank you,
Yes.
guys.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Sure,
Thank you.
Sayed.
Okay, okay, Rajan, you have any questions?
No, no, I'm okay. I'm just listening. All ears. Yeah, so I can understand, right? I mean, these courses are, especially the exercises are. I don't want to say it's a complex model. It's just a configuration is quite complex. But if you could imagine, it's more of you how you imagine, or if you are not visited the warehouse. Now there are a number of videos available in Google. I'm going to run one simple one. You just similarly, there are many such videos, especially for the freshers, those if we say HU, the inbound, the outbound, the same things only we would be talking, in the coming days. All that you need to know is just watch some videos and then get the picture in your mind, or you just visualize them, and then whenever we do the exercises, just connect with the real world. The real world matters actually. That gives you more interest or passion in this thing. Yeah, don't take it another angle, right? It's just, yes, it's a complex module, but at the same time it can be easily understood. But if you could connect with the movements that are there happening in the real world, for example, the module or the SD module, it's easy to understand in the sense like, in an office, the people normally sit and then they create the PO or the sales orders, right? It's easy. But when it comes to the warehouse management, there are three dimensions. One is a different type of products, and the human being, they have different ways of handling the things, or lifting the things, or doing the put away or unloading. And the third aspect is the material handling equipment. It could be a reach truck, or forklift, or a crane, or a robots. These three dimensions will make more real world scenarios applicable. That's why the EWM, if you could visualize the actual activity happening on the ground, either if you have visited the warehouse, it's okay. If you are not visited now, thank God you have a lot of videos available in the marketplace, in the YouTube. So you can just go on, and then at least spend some 3 to 4 hours, so that you get a grip on this different way of storage. Let me just show you a simple one, a YouTube video, so that for the freshers especially. This is not for Aditya or KV. Okay, am I sharing my screen? Yeah.
Yes, Rajan.
Right. So this one, likewise, there are n number of videos. So here, the warehouse management software flow. See it here. The here what's happening, right? The ASN is then sent from the supplier. So we have received the ASN, electronically. Then the truck comes, right? There are HUs or there are no HUs. Meaning HUs means the packed with the identification number, that is called HU. Meaning you just need to scan the barcode that is there on the pallet. If there are no HUs, still the pallets, the cartons will come, but there is no unique identification. You need to just open them, or you need to know which products are there. Maybe the product code is there, but it's just a vendor product code, not your product code. Something like that. HU means it's all information available beforehand in the ASN itself. Okay, now, so the truck comes to the warehouse, and then so they check the document and verify if this is the real document. The material A, B, C are there in the GRN as expected, or is sending some other delivery which is meant for some other customer maybe. Then in that case we can reject the truck itself or reject the consignment. So now this is okay. There are three SKUs A, B, C. So they got unloaded, right? This is now the staging area. So this is staged in that area, and then another operator has come in, and he is using the mobile device, the Zebra device, and then he scans the barcode. So in this case, there is a issue there. Okay, it says okay, the GRN okay. Basically, it's comparing with the ASN. When you scan this, the ID, the barcode, it compares that with the ASN information, and if it is matched, then is moving it from staging area. Is moving it, and then maybe this may be the staging area. No, assume this is a staging area. He's just moving from the outside to the inside. So this is the staging area. And another operator is scanning the HU, and the bin is adjusted automatically, you see. Maybe the task is created on the fly. He mounts that carton on the truck or the forklift. Sorry, the forklift. And then he goes to the bin, whichever bin suggested by the system. And then he is doing the put away. Actually, the forklift operator, it's very difficult for him to hop on onto the truck, so it takes time. So there is another assistant, or a robot maybe traveling, and then he's scanning, helping the scanning assistants, especially when there is multiple pallets or multiple cartons. You can't expect the poor guy to get off from the truck and then again jump onto the truck. So that's why there is an assistant who is doing it. Similarly, on the outbound, the customer delivery note is received, all right, from the ECC instance or the core. Then the pick list is created. So pick list is nothing but your warehouse order. So what are the things you need to pick in a single trip? And then the pick list is assigned to the operator, the pick in operator. So he goes with the mobile device with the empty forklift, all right? And then he grabs the products onto the forklift, and he actually scans that one. The scanning is not shown, and then he moves to another bin maybe. He just keeps picking in a single trip. He brings a pallet load of mixed items, or in this case, it's brought to the staging bay, and then he is scanning and doing the verification, and then loaded the delivery challan or the packing slip, the bill of lading is printed, and then it's loaded. Understood, a basic one, right? So that you could appreciate now. All that you can just correlate with your packers and movers, or whatever you nowadays you receive from the e-commerce, the big basket or the Swiggies. All that can be easily compared. Warehouse management is a very easy module to understand the product movement, especially. Then once you are thorough with the product movement, then we can talk about and appreciate the the EWM nuances. Hey, Akash, are you there? I don't think he's there. Yes. Okay, anyways, now let's continue. Where are we? So I showed you an inbound scenario. Now I'm going to show an outbound, the plain vanilla flow. Any questions on the inbound before we move on to the outbound demo? From anyone?
No,
From
Rajat,
KV,
it
Siva,
was clear.
Shravan, all good, yeah? Yeah. Now I'm going to the outbound. So let me see the stocks first. I'm going to kill the sessions. Anyway, there's a timeout. So let's go here. Um, let me see the stocks, so that I can use them to complete the outbound process. So EW07, the physical stock in my warehouse. So I have good stocks for these LP1. I have 2 pieces, 8 pieces, 10 pieces sitting on different pallets. Okay, in rack storage. Let me take the TRKG, which is my rack storage. I just filter them out. If you want, you can filter them. So I just put TRKG. I don't want to see the ones which are in different areas, the interim areas. So now I have the quantity for LP1 and LP2, 10 eaches. A lot of pallets are there. So let me create actually speaking, we should create a sales order. So VA01. So the sales order is created. The order type is OR. And then the sales area is 1710. Sales org is 1710. Distribution channel is 10. Division is 00. These three things put together is the sales area. Okay. From which, like a purchase organization, we have the sales area from where you are fulfilling the customer deliveries. Um, Now I need to have a customer, right? The sold to party and the ship to party. The sold to party is the one where we are selling it, and the ship to party is the one actually we are shipping the products to that party. So now let me take customer one. He is the sold to and shipped to, and this is the customer PO reference. So some reference, customer reference. Okay. Now let me take the material LP107. I just take one full pallet load, 10 quantity. Sorry, 10 quantity. So the sales order is the minimum stuff you need to enter is the material and then the quantity, right? And customer, which customer you are selling. Now, this is just a master data, missing master data. I just need to maintain the price. I can go here, click here, and then enter the pricing condition. It says clearly PPR 0. I just maintain some price, maybe 10 USD. And then I back off. I save my sales order. The sales order is created 105. And now I go in change mode or deliver. So I just give the shipping point. For every delivery creation, you need a shipping point from where you are shipping. So in our case, the plant code is 1710, the company code is 1710, and shipping point also 1710. So not to be worried. So like we check the PO or the inbound delivery. Similarly, for this outbound delivery, we go to the picking tab, and just in case I'm checking if it's coming to my warehouse, E07. Based on the plant and storage location. The storage location is automatically determined based on the configuration controls. And now this delivery can be saved. So sales order against which you create the delivery. The sales order is again a legal document, and delivery is the one which is aiding you for doing the transportation planning and also to fulfill the picking, packing activities and staging activities. All your logistics activities are based on this delivery document. So now we have this delivery in ECC, which is a OBD, outbound delivery document. When I save this document, it's replicated to the EWM instance. You see, was saved and distributed to WMS. Now 417. So as usual, we can go to the monitor just for discipline purpose. So you go to the monitor, and this time I am opening the outbound folder. So I open the outbound folder, and the ODO. So the EWM document is called ODO, Outbound Delivery Order. In order to find this EWM document, I can use the reference of the sales order or the LE delivery. So in my case, I know my LE delivery number 417. So this is my ODO, the outbound delivery order. If you just connect with the flow, so far we are done with the sales order creation, and then the outbound delivery was created. Now we are checking this document, ODO. Any questions up until now? Govind, Manish, you guys are following?
Yes, Rajan.
Shravan,
Rajan.
yeah,
Yes.
all good. All right. So now what I'm doing, I'm just checking the delivery line items if you want. Okay, these are the two delivery line items, and this is my LE number. See, LE number. If you want to reuse the same number, we can do it. Not a problem. If you want the LE number and then the EWM document number to be one and the same, yeah, we can do that. Now we know which is a sold to party and picking started or GI done. All the information we know. Now we can create the task. So the task creation can happen here. Create WT in the background. So the task is created. So if you check the task, so it's moving from the rack to the staging area. So it's a simple picking activity. We are not doing any PPSL, pick, pack, stage, load. All that we are doing is pick, stage, and maybe optional loading. And then I will show you how to trigger the goods issue. So I am going to pick the product from this bin location 11A and going to bring it to the staging bay directly. The goods issue staging bay, and from there I might be doing a simple loading and then do the goods issue. So this task is now created. If you want to check the order, you can check the order as well. Order, and this order is assigned to the outbound queue. And I am qualified to work in the outbound queue. I am means like forklift number 7 is qualified to work in the outbound queue, and I can log in the mobile device. Okay, I can just the login doesn't happen every time. Morning when the operator comes in, he logs in, and after that he stays put in the device, right? He logs off only when he goes for maybe a lunch break, just to show the labor management, time out and time in. But otherwise, he normally doesn't log off frequently. He stays there, and he gets the workload one by one or one at a time. So I just log in now. In my case, anyway, there's a time of, or is a system will throw me for any inactivity, for 2, 3 minutes or whatever time. So EW07, I log in my device, forklift number 7, right? Okay. And I go to the outbound process. Normally, people work in a system guided mode, pick in system guided, meaning they are not supposed to freely select anything. So the system will guide them. If one task is completed, the system will automatically propose the next one, especially when they are going with a cart or a trolley. To avoid any back and forth movements, the system will guide them in a proper pick path. So now I can go in the pick and system guided mode also. I just check whether the same order number is shown to me, 739, or something else. Okay, I'm getting the same order number, 739. If I want, I can just create a pick HU. The pick HU is required only if you are doing a partial picking, because you need to go with the temporary HU to transfer the loose items from the source HU to the destination HU. But if you are doing a complete picking, then you can skip the screen. You can say next, and then see, I am doing a complete withdrawal, meaning this source HU is of having 10 quantity. I'm going to take this and sell it to the customer. Somebody asked a question, right? I think Aditya, if I want to use the same pallet, if I can sell to the customer the same pallet, can I do that? Yeah, we can do that. The HU which was received from the vendor, the same number can be dispatched to the customer. Yeah. Now I scan the bin, the barcode of the bin, and I scan the product code or the HU. These things are optional, whichever you want to scan, you can do it. For example, if you don't want to scan the product because you normally do the complete picking, then you can just scan the HU. Or if you don't want to scan the destination HU one more time, we can turn off this field. Yeah. At the bare minimum, you need the bin, the product, sometimes, HU. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm done with this product scan, and I confirm the quantity, and I confirm that I am loading and putting it on my HU, destination HU, done. So I'm now coming to the staging bay. As I said, there is a two screen navigation only. One is the source screen, the other one is the destination screen. Now I picked it from the rack storage, and now I am reaching the destination, which is my staging bay. So based on this, I am going to the staging bay and I scan the staging bay barcode, and one more time the HU, just to know that I am dropping this HU at the destination. That's it. So the task is confirmed. The picking task is confirmed, and I don't have any more work, for today, or I'm just waiting for another WO to be created by the supervisor. So now if I check in the monitor, the task is confirmed. As usual, it's a two-step confirmation from source to resource and from resource to destination. Now the delivery is, if I go to the delivery, the ODO, any questions up until now? I just pass here and sip some water.
Can we integrate the shipment document also?
Shipment document. A shipment also, if we have a shipment document from a TM module, then it will create a TU, the transportation unit in EWM.
Because all the deliveries will be assigned to shipment. From there, we can do packing and other things here in EWM also.
Packing, shipment you can create, right? If you're talking about LETRA, yes, you can create the shipment document, and the shipment document comes to EWM in the form of a TU, transportation unit.
Okay.
And then after staging only, you're doing transportation unit loading, right? I don't understand when you say packing. Packing means the shipment TM module can suggest the pick HUs, how many pallets you need. Which is called cartonization planning. There's a module called cartonization planning within EWM. So that can suggest some how many pallets are required, and some transportation load optimization it can do. That's what the actual packing, if you are referring to, it's okay. But if you are talking about the packing happening in the work center after picking, that's a different story. That has nothing to do with the shipment.
No, I'm talking about whatever now is happening in delivery. Can we also do it in shipment? That's what I'm just asking. Anyway, I got it. The shipment document can be moved, right?
Shipment document is coming in the form of IDOC. I'm not talking about the TM. I'm just talking about the LETRA, LE transportation module. If you create a shipment, it comes to EWM in the form of IDOC, and it creates a TU automatically, and it assigns the deliveries to that TU. For example, there are 5 deliveries in a shipment. It just creates one transportation unit. You can see here, and those 5 deliveries are sent to the TU. Then you can do the picking, packing, staging, loading.
Okay.
Now I am done with the picking completed, packing also completed, because we are using the same HU. The source HU is the HU is carry forwarded to the customer. But if I want to create a ship HU, I can do that. Either at the staging area or in a dedicated pack work center. No problem. Now I just want to continue with this number only 107. I am fine with this thing. If you want, you can do a simple loading also, meaning you can just capture the time start and time end. So I just press the button load. Loading is completed. You see, picking completed, packing completed, loading completed. Now I can trigger the goods issue. The goods issue would be triggered when the truck is departing from the checkpoint, security checkout, or from the door when the TU is moved out of the door. You don't want to track the driver, how much time he is taking. Maybe he's going and having a tea, coffee, or he's just doing some the polythene wrapping, or whatever activities he may be doing. If you want to track them, then you normally don't do the goods issue, because there are some activities happening in the yard or outside of the warehouse, like sealing, or going to the weigh bridge and capturing the weight. So in that scenario, maybe you trigger the goods issue once the truck departs the main gate. Otherwise, sometimes you can trigger the goods issue once the truck is loading completed. It's up to you, up to the client. So now I am going to trigger the goods issue. So the goods issue is completed. If you check the ECC document, the main document or the core document, always go to the transaction, the VL03N, right? There you can see the goods issue document posted. So this is my delivery. And if you check the document flow, so the goods issue is posted, and the HU is communicated to ECC as well, And if you display the goods issue document, it's a regular, the 601 moment, which reduces the inventory, and then there is a cost of goods sold account. Any questions on this? So at this point in time, when you trigger the goods issue, most important thing is the third document is created, which is the OD. Till the time the third document was not created, 1407, right? So when you trigger the goods issue, the third document is created, or the second document. In the case of embedded environment, we have only two documents. But if you're a classical customer or decentral customer, you have the notification also or request also. So now I can display the final delivery or the OD. You see, this is the delivery which automatically happens when you press the button PGI. Okay, and this is the one which communicates the information to ECC. Which message? The goods issue message. So the goods issue message is sent to the ECC system or to the S4 core. Okay, if I want to reverse the goods issue, I can't do it in the ODO. I got to do it here only, or I can't do it in VL09 or whatever. The ECC transactions are null and void. So now, because you are triggered the goods issue from EWM, obviously you can reverse only from EWM. You can't do it from ECC. Okay, so if I want to reverse the goods issue, I can do it here. I cannot do it from ODO because ODO is a previous document or the preceding document. You got to do it from the latest document, which is the OD. Understood? Any questions? Yeah.
If you are reversing the goods issue, it will generate a new document then again, new OD.
No, it will reverse just 601. It will just reverse only the material document. 602 happens. Then you got to delete the OD, and then you have to do a cancel picking. If the customer cancels the thing, you have to delete this ODO later. All that I am doing is just reversing the material document. If I accidentally triggered the goods issue, all that I am doing is 602 only.
So how it gets reflected in the S4 core delivery?
I'm showing it now. So if I just reverse it, let me see. If I reverse it, I just go with the logistics number 417. All right. I just show you how to reverse this. So I just jump to the outbound delivery, the final delivery, and then I press the button reverse goods issue. So I reverse it. Now you say goods issue not started. Now if I check this in ECC, all right, if I check the document flow, see goods issue posted and reversed. A 601 movement is posted, and then a 602, 601 for goods issue, and then a 602 for reversal. Immediately, the communication happened. But assuming if the customer is canceling the order, right, meaning you got to delete the ODO also and send a zero confirmation so that the sales order will be open, or the S&D module can take appropriate action. In that scenario, what I got to do is I need to delete the OD also in EWM. So first thing I got to delete the OD. Okay, so first I reverse the thing. Now I am deleting the OD. So what's happening? Why I can't delete this OD?
Do we need to unpack because already handling units are there?
Unpacking now. How many sessions I opened? Let me just close a few sessions. All right, so many sessions I opened. These sessions are not getting killed automatically. Okay, so now I reversed it, and then I go to the PRDO, the outbound delivery order. This is what I was expecting. Anyways, yeah, cancel all of them. Now I just go here, and then 417 is my delivery. Okay. Now 1407 is my OD. It's just become slow. Okay, why I can't delete this? If I want to delete this application error, validation, HR, some problem, exception trigger in include.
I think some dump is going.
Hey, just hang on 1 second. I just getting.
సంవత్సరాలు ఏం తెలిసిన ఊరికి ఎక్కడ దింపు వేసుకున్నాం అనుకో అందరూ కలిసి చందాలు వేసుకొని కొనిస్తారు కొత్త షూ.
ఎవరు కొనిస్తారు చూస్తూనే
సెక్యూరిటీ వాళ్ళే కొనిస్తారు సార్, చాలా కష్టాల్లో ఉన్నట్టున్నారు అని చెప్పి కొత్త షూ కొనిస్తారు. పడుతుందా ఎప్పుడు
నువ్వు ఇది కావాలి మారిపోతుందా?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. So now I'll show you a little later. There seems to be some issues with the bug. Now there's one way of the final thing. What we have to do is just we need to delete the OD, and then we have to do the cancel picking so that the stocks can be freed from the delivery one, and then we can send a zero confirmation. There are 2 or 3 steps that we need to perform. If you are not an expert mode, then we can use the monitor method. So you can just use the monitor ODO. Okay, just go with this LE number only, and then here we can do all these activities in by using the appropriate method. So this scenario is normally, for example, the customer is canceling the order. So you want to unassign the stocks, right, which is assigned to this delivery, so that the stocks can be used for another customer. So you have to reverse the goods issue, which is very rare, right? You don't, the customer normally doesn't cancel after the truck is departed. So in our case, since we did the goods issue, I did the reversal to the goods issue, and then I canceled the OD. So for canceling the OD, we can use this method here, so adjust quantity and adjust quantity and create OD. All this we can do. So these 2 are the important ones, so that we are sending a proper pick denial, meaning we are sending a delivery cancellation to the ECC, so that the sales order can be technically completed also, or they can just keep it open, to process and delivery for some other day. So adjust quantity and create delivery in EWM for the difference. Use default courses code. Adjust quantity, create delivery in EWM for difference. Adjust quantity. There's subtle differences between the things. So let's say so same thing, one item not processed due to errors. The first thing is outbound delivery has to be deleted. So see, okay, now I showed you how to just reverse the PGI. Maybe I will show it little later how to do the cancellation and reverse pick and cancel picking and all other things, especially for the SD folks. But otherwise, are there any questions on the standard flow?
Yeah, Rajan, a couple of questions. So we have done the standard picking with a standard HU or the full pallet quantity, right? So just in case if the delivery quantity is partial pallet or a non-standard pack. So let's take some 5 quantity or 6 quantity. So what are the steps that we need to do? Because physically we need to break the pallet and take the appropriate quantity and tag it to a new HU. So how are we going to manage if we are doing it using RF scanner?
Yeah, KV, it's a good point. So it depends, right, on the business. For example, if the partialing can happen within the aisle, or whether the aisle is dark and narrow aisle, you got to bring the complete pallet to a interim area, a floor area, and then allocate them. It depends actually. But if you can do the partialing within the aisle, meaning they can just take the partial directly from the source bin, or they can just let down the pallet and then take what they want, and then they can put it back to the same source bin. In that scenario, maybe you can go with the pick HU. Pick HU is the one. For example, if you just want to pick 4 quantity out of the 10 pallet, then you take the 4 on a pick HU and then move it to the staging bay or maybe to the pack workstation where you transfer the 4 which you picked on a tote, plastic tote, and then in the pack work center they will transfer it from the tote to the shipping cartons. This is one scenario.
Yeah. So in that scenario, how we are going to? I'm just wondering how the old HU gets updated and the quantity gets updated.
Okay.
You got my question, right? So
Yeah, I got your question. Yeah. So I'll just show in one scenario, right? VL01, no, straight away I'm creating a delivery without even sales order. Okay,
yeah.
delivery type is yellow without reference. Okay, I'm just skipping the sales order, directly creating a delivery.
Sure.
Let's say this time I am just doing it for LP1 only. Okay, but I'm just taking 4 quantity, okay, out of 10. All right, so 4 quantity I'm taking, whereas I have pallets of 10 only. Now my delivery is created and distributed. I just directly go to PRDO. I can just jump from monitor also. So PRDO is another transaction. The delivery in EWM. So I just use this number 418, and then I just create the task, pick task. Right. So when I say create the task, it's taking it from this HU 110. Let's see 110 how much quantity I have, in the monitor. So I just give this HU number 817 110 110. So we have 10 quantity, okay, on this pallet in this bin. Now I just need to pick only 4. Let's see. Now I create and save, and I check my order, warehouse order. I'm not confirming, I'm just checking. So this is my order, and system has created a pick HU. If the pick HU is not created, you can create on the fly also. But ideally speaking, if you have configured your system, it might come out with a proposal. It says go with the pick palette, or go with the palette HU. So I will show you how to create a HU on the fly in the mobile device. So now I'm going to the RF UI, radio frequency user interface. I carry out this picking activity. So EW, my default values is getting taken. I can change the default value, not a problem. Outbound process, pick in, pick by WO. Uh, I can just go with pick by WO, or I can work in a system guided mode, up to you. So let's take the system guided mode only. So this is my new one, 740 is a new order. It's coming to me, 740, yeah. Now I can create a Pikachu. I can scan the packaging material, which is there on my forklift, all the standard packaging material which I'm using. So that would be there. The barcode would be there. So I can scan that barcode, and I can construct an HU, meaning if I have a mobile printer, the printer will churn out the label. So I can just slap it on the carton box or on the pallet. This is called a pick HU, the HU which I am using for picking purpose, right? Especially when I am picking partial, I need to go with the pick handling unit in order to transfer the things, because I can't just put them randomly on the forklift, right? I can just attach here and there. So this is called pick HU. Okay, then I move on. Then you say I'm transferring from 110 only 4 quantity from this source HU to this pick HU or the destination HU. So business as usual. I scan the bin, and I scan the source HU, and I scan the product and confirm the quantity and transfer it to this pick HU. Done. Now I am moving this pick HU to the staging bay. Completed. The picking activity completed, picking and staging completed. Now if I display the HU stock in the monitor, earlier it was 10 pieces, right? Now it
Right.
is having only 6 pieces. 6 pieces.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. During the work order creation itself, the HU will be proposed and the same will
Yeah,
be
if
considered
it's
for
not
the.
proposed, then you are free to scan any palette and create the HU on the fly. But most likely, the work order or the warehouse order will have the HU proposals.
Okay, great. And just one more question. So just in case if you have huge quantities, that's how the routine, right? Means in a bigger distribution center or a bigger factory, the delivery quantities will be huge, lot of pallets. So if at all the overall delivery picking need to be distributed among two or more than two material handlers, so we need to split into multiple work orders, right?
Yeah, multiple orders.
Yeah,
For example, if you're doing a pallet picking, then one at a time, right? One pallet at a time. So one HU in one task or in one WO. If there are
yeah,
10 operators, they'll be going on a round robin. So if I am done with one pallet, I get the next from the queue. While parallelly, you can work on one more WO. Each WO will have only one task if we are doing pallet picking. But if we are doing a case picking or a trolley based picking, then for example, I can carry 50 kilogram, in a given trip. So for every 50 kilogram, the task could be accumulated or cumulated, and then I get an order for 50 kilogram maximum. You know that limit would
okay,
be applied,
okay. So that gets automatically determined.
splitted, yeah,
Okay,
determined. And that's what we say KFC combo. The warehouse orders based on your carrying capacity limit or based on your experience level or what you can bring a meaningful workload in a single trip. Uh,
right.
Good, KV. Yeah, you are the one, right? Logging in from US or
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
which location in US? East Coast or Mid Central or Central Zone or Eastern Zone?
Yeah, it's more Midwest. It's
Midwest.
Michigan
Okay,
State. Mm.
Michigan State. Okay. All right. Any other questions from anyone? Aditya, Manish, or Shravan?
Um, Rajan, not related to the outbound, but in outbound you showed an option for reverse goods issue, right?
Hmm.
So will similar option of reverse goods receipt exist in inbound or?
Yeah, you can reverse the goods receipt anytime, but if the inbound loop is completed, meaning the DCO status is 9, then you can't reverse because you have all your opportunities, not utilized, or you have your first gate check, second gate check, and all that it's completed. When the DCO status is 9, afterwards you can't do any reversals. Till the time you can do reversals.
So in ECC also will it not allow me like once we press the goods receipt, warehouse order task is also confirmed and put away is completed. So reversal in EWM you are saying we cannot do. In ECC also I cannot cancel that material document.
In Migo, you're saying
Yeah, in Migo, yeah,
you cannot
in
cancel the document. Yeah.
okay.
Provided the inbound loop is completed. When I say the inbound loop is completed, the DCO flag is set to 9. You know, that's
The
what I said. Inbound loop is
yeah,
completed.
DCO will be set to 9 when the task is confirmed, right?
Not necessarily. There are a number of ways actually. The GR mode will decide. If you are saying the task confirmation should trigger the GR, you know, then the DCO would happen. For example, it depends, right? For example, in an inbound delivery, there are 10 pallets.
Yeah.
Even though you have placed 9 of them, right? The last one is not yet confirmed. That means still the DCO is not set.
Okay, in that case, for this remaining, okay, yeah, in that case,
It
GRS.
all depends on the GR mode. There are 4 different modes. Each mode will behave differently in terms of the DCO flag. Let's put it that way. But if you are doing immediate GR or the GR after the final put away, meaning even if you're receiving 100 pallet, you want to trigger the GR after the 100th pallet put away. In that scenario, you have, there's no question of reversal, because things can't go wrong, because the GR happens for the based on the last pallet put away only. So if you look at the GR mode, there are I'll just show you, but I don't want to discuss now. But at this point in time, at least there are two different modes. We'll talk about the remaining two modes maybe a little later. So some sessions are hanging, and it's not getting killed automatically. Okay. It's okay now. GR mode. So the goods receipt process, inbound delivery, maybe in the process control, process settings, delivery, process management control, item control. Okay, PRD, delivery. Not here, maybe the header control. Yeah, the header control. So this is what I was talking about, the GR mode. So different modes of GR are there. So the immediately send GR postings and partial GR postings means you are doing on the fly. For example, you're constructing a pallet and posting the GR. The next operator is doing the put away. So for example, if there are 100 pallets, you may be triggering 100 GRs also. This would be overwhelming for the invoice verification clerk, but you are not stopping the flow on the other end. The one which I'm saying is send full GR when GR has been posted for all items. This is very tricky one, or very dangerous one, I would say. In this scenario, I'm just maybe not exaggerating. Assuming for a single line, you're receiving 100 pallets, and even though you have placed 95 of them, those 5 of them are getting delayed for whatever reasons. Uh, you are not sending the GR, unless and until the last pallet is posted, the put away completed. So these two are pretty straightforward. The one is we are not stopping the flow. As and when we done with the GR for individual pallets, we are triggering the posting. And for this, we are waiting for the last pallet to be placed in the bin. But these two are tricky ones, one's full GR mode and collective GR mode. So based on these GR modes only, the DCO flag is set at some point in time to 9. So once the DCO flag is set to 9, afterwards, you can't do any reversal or any cancellations for that matter. Understood?
Yeah, clear. Thank you.
But just make a note of this. We'll talk about the full and collective little later, when it comes to the context. So you'll appreciate a lot. At this point in time, the A and C should be straightforward. A, the advantages, you're not stopping the flow. The disadvantages, too many sardines are getting posted, or, the traffic is quite a lot. And sometimes, the invoice verification or the FI will raise some concerns actually. Okay, with that, let's keep moving, 10 more minutes. Let's just do a pretty much there. I'll just flash this and see where are we. So these things we have completed right today morning. The summary. So what are the deployment options we have in S4 on-prem? On-prem, we are talking about embedded and decentral. Because it's S4, right? For classical customer, they have again the bolt-on or the decentral. When it comes to decentral, then they can normally they work on NetWeaver only. So why is distribution model required? Distribution model is required to distribute the deliveries. Even though if it's an embedded customer, still the transactional data has to flow. What I mean by transactional data, it's just a delivery document. At the end of the day, we have only 3 types of delivery: inbound delivery, outbound delivery, and a posting chain delivery. Do we still need a distribution model for embedded? Yes, of course. Name the main BAPIs that are flowing from ECC to EWM via the distribution model. The inbound replica, the inbound changes, outbound replica, and outbound changes. Which technology or interface is used? The QRFC, Queue Remote Function Call. Why remote function call is not used? Because there is a business dependency. So if the preceding document fails for the same delivery, there are some issues with the preceding event, then the succeeding event also will fail. So that's a QRFC. It has a inbuilt business validation, which are serialized. Which are the transaction letter that are transferred? Just now we spoke about that, the delivery documents. Can we delay the distribution? Yes, of course. There could be incompletion controls or some mandatory field data not received, or it could be transportation planning happening in a separate system. Or you don't want to create the delivery and you want to create the delivery for whatever reasons, but you don't want to trouble EWM, meaning the execution shall be delayed. Even if it is distributed to EWM, it can remain in block status. So how to distribute the delivery if it's not enabled? There are transactions which would be scheduled in the background job, like the VL06I or the VL06O, to distribute the delivery. It will check the incompletion things. If the things are completed, then it will distribute it. Else it will keep it for the next run. So what are some of the key configuration prerequisites we know? In ECC, the PO has to carry the confirmation control key, and the warehouse, we have to maintain the split function, delivery split function. I'll come to that little later, maybe tomorrow. And I'm not going to talk about the technical architecture too much. For those SD consultants and MM consultants, they will appreciate a lot, especially the SD consultants, because they know the document type, the item category, the need for them. Similarly, in EWM, we have the document type and item type. In any implementation, we will not be using the standard document types and item types. Those will be used as a reference only, but we copy them and create our own Z documents and item types for a simple reason like a number range, or for a complex reason like a status profile or a text profile or a partner profile. So for that reason, we will have the documents. So this is meant for tomorrow. It's slightly a dry topic. I see if I can navigate with the meaningful way of explaining to all the people, especially considering the freshers. All right, with that, I am pretty much done for the day. You guys just see if you got the communication from Akash, whether you can log into the server or
No, Rajan, not yet.
not yet. Okay. Fine. Maybe I think you will share it by today itself, maybe a little later in the evening. So I've done the allocation. Just spend some time. Maybe you can go to EW07 warehouse in the monitor, and then just go here. For example, okay, you can just go here to this monitor, and maybe you can don't use your warehouse for time being. Just go in EW07. Just use the default values. If it's not suggested, you can put EW07 and just play some time, on the outbound. Go to ODO and get some deliveries randomly. Maybe a lot of deliveries here. Maybe take the recent ones, sort them by descending, and then check the tasks, right? And appreciate, what is the tree structure and what is the parent node and then the child node, and how to get to the form view. And from the delivery, you can jump to the delivery also, and then see what I meant by the ODO and also the final delivery, which is OD. All right. And what are the different data available at the header level and item level? Spend some time and then just come back to the monitor and see what are the options we can navigate. You can jump to the order, a task, HU. Similarly, spend some time on the inbound delivery as well. And if you could remember this config, that's fine. Or just watch my video one more time. And this is the place where we are saying the warehouse is EWM managed, right? Basic setup of connectivity, configure EWM. So this is where slowly, you would be activating, for example, the warehouse number 2, which I have assigned it to, Chandru maybe. So this is still a local WM. So he needs to activate it or to make it EWM. So I have exercises running all the way from 1 to 30, which we would be doing. Slightly, concerned. We'll see how it goes. These are, I would say, sort of a slightly expert exercises, but try to understand. I'll explain as much as I can. Even if you're following some 60% or 70%, it's still okay. The remaining things, you can always try as a homework. Yeah. Uh, so this is an important place where we are enabling the warehouse as a EWM warehouse, and then the plant storage location assignment to the warehouse. Here we can see the enterprise structure assignment, LE, assign warehouse number to the plant and storage location. So the plant and S-log is assigned to the warehouse number. This is done. With that, I am pretty much done for the day. That's stopping the sharing, and just hear from you
Rajan,
guys if any question.
before we close, just one question. So in this entire process, we're not having any physical documents, right? Let's take like a pick list, which usually in a traditional process, the material handler would use a reference. So we don't have anything like pick list or any such documents here, or is it
If you want,
possible?
you can print a pick list and give it to the operator. The warehouse order so-called pick list can be printed over and above. Even if they use their mobile device, still, the pick list, if you feel it would simplify them in terms of doing the preparatory works, then you can always, print a pick list.
Okay. So
Okay.
we can configure the output types and generate. Okay.
Yeah, you can generate, as part of the PPF, we can print the label, we can print the pick list, the packing slip, the bill of lading, but the pick list is optional. It may not be required, especially in people working in a mobile environment. They know which PKHUs they need to carry, and the system is going to guide them, and they can toggle and see the details by querying in the mobile device. But still, if the pick list is helping them in minimizing the time, so we can always print a pick list and then give it to them.
Okay. And you mentioned about the labels, right? So labels with the standard suite, what we get, the EWM, we do have the capability to print the labels, or there is something that we need to customize and.
No, the standard capability, there's something called equivalent of your NACE or output determination in ECC. Similarly, we have this post-processing framework in EWM, which is the complete thing for printing all your label requirements or the documents in EWM.
Okay.
So that would be leveraged, wherein you maintain the start condition and then the custom form, smart form, all that we closely work with the developers, and the standard will not be fitting the build exactly. There are some good forms available. Maybe you can copy them. Don't want to start from scratch. Maybe you can copy them and then manipulate them or fine tune them as per the client requirement.
Yeah, got it.
Right, KV. All right. With that, it's a wrap on this session now, and talk to you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, you should be getting the access by today. Spend some time and then dirty your hands in EW07. Get the hang on these documents which we have posted today by watching the video if you can. And also the freshers, if you can watch some YouTube videos about the different types of storage like rack storage, a bulk storage, a floor storage, or some basic, warehouse activities. What's a mobile device when we say RF UI? At the end of the day, the people, as I said again and again, the people are just confirming the tasks in the mobile device while they are doing the heavy lifting. Their main job is to ensure the product is moved, while parallelly, they are confirming that in the mobile device. Additionally, all right. Are there any questions? A final comment, closing comments, remarks from anyone? Okay, if none, then thanks a lot for your time and attention. All the best. I'll catch up tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.